when I started doing podcasting, I used a microphone from the video game Rock Band. It was the microphone that came with Rock Band.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Okay, talk about a redemption arc, because like the Rock Band microphone, full-time podcaster, internet person. Come on, you can truly do anything with anything.
I'll tell you the secret of good equipment.
All right.
Because there are two options you can do. Option one is you save up until you buy the best thing. And option two is when you're able to just keep buying the next best thing. And I actually don't think either one of those is better or worse, because I think in the long run, you spend less money if you just save up your money and buy the best thing. But you just keep sounding better and better, and people are more and more impressed with how good you sound, I guess, as you increase your stuff. The thing that I tell people about podcasting, and now I'm starting to think it's a little bit the same thing with streaming, is if you wait until you're like got all the best things and wait until like you're also confident enough to do it, you'll be waiting forever. It's kind of like, it's cliche, but like being a parent, right? Just start doing it. You'll learn as you go and you'll get better at it. But like waiting to get better at it without actually doing it, that's not how it works, you know? And I feel like I'm getting better every day doing it. I still feel like I'm getting better every day podcasting, and I've been doing it for 11 years. And like the way you learn how to do it and the way you get confident. When we first did the first episode of My Brother and Me, I was so nervous, and Justin said, well, we'll just do a test episode. And then we finished that episode and he said, okay, well, we're going to publish that. And like it tricked me into not worrying about it. And that was the only way I got through the first episode.
Like one rule that I always follow as well, because I also like, have a kind of a multifaceted background. I am like primarily an actor, writer. I'm mostly working in entertainment. I also run a couple of different businesses, and I have the stream as well. But like one rule that I've always followed is not having to have before you can do, because a lot of people get into this kind of paralytic situation where they're like, well, I want to do this, but I need all of these things before I can do that. I need all this to be in place before I can do that. And it's like, you know what? Action is always senior. Action is always senior, even if your initial forays suck and they're learning experiences because of how bad they are. If you just start actually putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to arrive, and faster than you ever would have had you started 1 minute later.
Yep.
I also want to say though, because I'm sitting here and being very self-reflective, I'm very much coming at this from a place of privilege, right? I'm a straight white cisgendered male, and not only that, I didn't start podcasting till Justin and Griffin had already been doing it for like a year with the Joystick podcast, so we already had a built-in audience. And so like it's the kind of thing where I am where I am now as a like professional full-time internet creator. And I'm not gonna be too humble. That goes against my brand. But I am talented and I'm funny and I'm good at it. But I think a lot of the opportunities that I have gotten is because of that privilege. Yeah. That said, I think that the important thing is, because this is the advice I give about podcasting, I don't advise anybody to start doing it hoping for it to be a career. I think start doing it because you love doing it. It makes you happy to do it. It's good for you to do it. And then if you end up building an audience, if people end up liking it, if it ends up being a thing, that is a miracle. That's amazing. But if you like doing it, if it makes you happy, if it brings you peace, if it brings you happiness, then you should do it. And not worry about if you're going to be successful or not. Don't overinvest. Don't blow your wad on it and go broke trying to be successful at it. Do what you need to do to be happy to do it. And then, if other people like it, then you can invest more and more as you go. But thinking that you'll be successful or that people will tune into your stream because you spent $2,000 on equipment or whatever, that isn't what brings people in. It's personality, it's passion, it's all that stuff.
And then you're sitting there with a $700 microphone and, a horrendously expensive PC and camera and all this stuff. And then you're just sitting back and no one's watching. And you're like, but I spent all this money. Why aren't they here? That's not how it goes. You do it because you're passionate and because you love doing it. And that's why personally, I think slowly building up over time with smaller purchases and then rewarding yourself when, you've saved up enough for that next thing, that's my personal way to go about it, rather than I'm gonna make
that's
myself.
how I feel too.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
funny
gonna
that you
make
mentioned-
myself broke by buying the best of everything.
We've all been using the word reward, but I think for those people watching at home, I'm going to change that word to invest.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
invest in myself, because I think that is one of the hurdles that I've been trying to get over, is that when it is time for an equipment upgrade, when it's time to get something new, it feels like a treat. It feels like a special fun thing, instead of like, this is a business investment. This is a professional investment I am making in my career. This is a thing that I'm doing. This isn't like, I'm going to eat a donut. This is like,
I'm writing it all off. That's for damn sure.
yeah.
Yeah, like I need to upgrade my equipment because this is my job. This is a business that I do.
And I'm not sure if it's different for people like us who this is our full-time thing, like this is our full-time job, or if it's different for people who do this as a side hobby, side hustle sort of thing from their like day job. But Travis, somebody in your chat said it earlier and really hit the nail on the head of, it's really uncomfortable to get past the thought process that you need to be miserable at work.
Yeah.
Because it's so like ingrained in us that, oh, we have to go to work. Like, I don't want to do this. I have the best job in the world. I get to sit around and play video games with my friends. And if I want to wear sweats, I can do that. And like, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. But I don't need to be miserable doing my work. I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to invest in myself. I'm allowed to do things that make it more enjoyable for me to be here. And if that means buying a humidifier that I can put fancy oils into, if it means that I buy myself a really nice pair of sweatpants or something like that.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, anything, or just fill this room with plants. It doesn't matter. It's whatever makes me happiest being in this space, because this is my career. This is my job. It has been for a long time. And if I'm fortunate enough, it will continue being for a very long time. I have had so many people over the years, like we've had people come into chat and say an inappropriate thing towards me. And we have like immediately timed them out or banned them depending on the severity of it. And people have come into my DMs or into my stream and say, you would be more successful and you would have more viewers if you were less of a hard ass. And I took such issue with that, because I spend, I've been live for almost 8 hours today. This is 8 hours of my life that I want to be surrounded, and this is horrendously selfish, but I want to be surrounded by the best possible people.
Yeah.
And if that
Absolutely.
means that I bop these, you know, homophobic, transphobic, racist bigots, get out of my life. I don't want you here. I never want you here. The trash is taking themselves out. That's fantastic. If it means I have lower viewership, but I have more quality, wonderful people to be around, I'm winning.
Exactly. And if you let the bullshit run rampant like that, then the quality people in your stream will leave.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a decision that me and my brothers made like very, very early on, which is like, you kind of had two options, right? You try to cater to everybody. You try to make it like, I'm not going to kick anybody out because I'm trying. And at that point, the only people who are going to come is the people who don't really care about you. They just want a place to yell and a place to say shit. Or you say like, no, you suck, you're out. And the people who don't suck will stick around because they like that you got rid of the people that suck.
Yeah.
And the thing is our model, and one of the reasons to bring it all back that I love being an internet creator, is it's so much more about rewarding audience dedication versus audience size, where we have all these little ways for an audience to support you. And it's not about like, you know, if, you know, someone's going to give you a $5 million contract to produce a thing or whatever. It's about if, you know, there are people who are like, I care enough about the thing that you make that I want to support you so that you can keep making it, that they are directly connected to you. And I think that I would much rather have 100 people who really, really, really care about if I'm able to make the thing that makes me happy and make them happy, rather than 100,000 people who tune in every so often, but would watch anything during that time. You know what I mean? Like, that's not as important, because when you need that support, when it comes down to it, the people who really care about the thing that you are making are the ones who will be there for you.
Thanks so much to these patrons for all of your support. If you'd like to support these videos, check out patreon.com/Kate Stark. Link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.